Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-bow-bow. Ba-da-ba-da-bow. Do-do. Episode 59. 59 is right on time. Episode 59. 59 is 59. Come on down to the 5 and down of 59. Imagine if you just had settings like your television. Just change the accent for the day. Hey, how y'all doing, everybody? I think I might do an episode one day, and I talk a whole like this for the whole complete 1 hour of the episode. What's been happening in the world today? How expensive is corn? I'm starting to go a little bit mad. Madder than normal. I'm now officially sick and tired of the house. I'm sick and tired of being in the house. I'm sick and tired of always. It feels as if all we're doing is washing clothes. It feels as if all I'm doing is washing clothes and washing dishes. But what doesn't make sense is I'm battling depression, so I wear the same clothes for days at a fucking time. So how on earth am I having to wash so many fucking clothes? Doesn't make sense. I wish whenever we make a meal, you know, even a snackaroonie, it seems as if I've had a catering staff of 40 in my fucking kitchen. I need a holiday. It's not even a situation now where I want a holiday, you know, like I actually like a holiday. I need a holiday. And I know it's not going to happen for a considerable length of time. Should not have moved the microphone while we're recording. I am aware that the chances of me getting a holiday, even next year, are incredibly slim. Almost to the point of non-existent. So we're now looking ahead to 2022. Can I wait that long for a holiday? Probably not. Probably not. I may go insane. You know? Staring at the same fucking walls, day in, day out. Even the day I was like, I'm going to go and do a bit of writing, do a bit of work. And I had plans to go and sit in a coffee shop or something. I thought, I can't even do that. You know, I can't even go and sit in a coffee shop. Because fucking COVID, man. So I'd have been trapped like a lab rat, fighting his way out of the maze, only to find that the maze has more levels. Even did some hoovering today, and now the hoover's fucked. Good. It's how you get out of hoovering, by breaking the fucking hoover. But as always, I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. I hope you are coping with lockdown. I am close to just having a complete and utter meltdown. I think it's very close. But you know, we should take comfort in the fact that old Mags, Margaret Keenan, a name who this morning would have meant fuck all to all of us. But today, Margaret, bold Margaret, is the outbreak monkey we've all been waiting for. You know? And I'm going to be honest with you, my opinion on this matter has completely changed over the course of today. I recorded an episode of the Hashtag Show with the wonderful McLAUGHLIN, everyone's favourite cheeky uncle, which you should all be listening to as well. If you don't, I'm sure you do. And since recording that this morning, to then sitting down and recording this podcast tonight, my opinion on it completely changed. And I'll tell you for why. Let me just get the old armrest sorted on this goddamn chair. The concept of the vaccine, is like a carrot and a string dangling in front of all of us in the hope that we will be set free from this invisible prison that COVID has trapped us in. And this morning when I found out that it was going to the old cunts first, And a 91-year-old woman, 90, she's 91 next week, I believe. 91-year-old woman was going to be the first person to be vaccinated in the UK. Slightly angered, and I thought, my first thought, I'm going to be honest with you, right? And I mean no offence to anyone, and if you are offended by this, then fucking have a word with yourself, man. It's a comedy podcast. I thought at 91 years of age, you've had enough. No, you've had your time. You know? You've had your fill. You know? Should we be spending money, vital resources, on 91-year-olds? It's just listen, it's just a question I'm asking. I'm just asking the question. Just asking a question. World's fucked, right? We're going to be paying for COVID for the next 50 years. Your children's children will be paying for COVID. Because believe me, the Tories will want every fucking penny back, plus interest. Plus interest. It's probably going to get to the situation next year when we've all been vaccinated, you know, and we're maybe back out enjoying life again to the point that it used to be where, for example, you can go to the cinema, you can go to a restaurant, you can go to a comedy show, you know, you can go to a music event, enjoy life once again. Things like working from home may become the new normal, for want of a better saying. There probably will be tens of thousands, if not more, businesses who, for the first time, maybe are turning a profit, or maybe understanding that what is the point in spending hundreds upon thousands of pounds year in, year out, just to have a shop front or just to have an office when we don't physically need a space. We can have our staff work from home. That's probably going to become part of normal life now, you know? So does that mean that people are going to have to build bigger homes so they can actually incorporate an office space into it? Or does it mean that your council tax is now going to be £400, £500, £600 a month because you're all working from home? And you're thinking, Gibbo, don't be stupid, big man. But you're not going to be going into the high streets anymore. You're not going into the cities because you're not working in an office anymore. You're working from home. So you're not buying that bus ticket, that train ticket. You're not going to the cafe. You're not going to the restaurant for lunch. You're not going to the bookies. You're not using these businesses, these services. So these rates have to go up, and you have to pay for that somehow. You have to pay to live somehow. You've got to put money back in the pot because the government's not going to let you get rich. Don't be fucking stupid. So I think that's what's going to happen next year. We're all going to see our fucking council taxes go through the roof. And as someone who is living in arguably the most expensive... The people say it's Hong Kong, but I'm telling you, I don't think they've lived in Edinburgh. Arguably the most expensive city to live in the fucking UK. If my council tax goes up any higher, I'm telling you, I'm getting right down to that Hollywood. I'm like, get her out here now. I want a fucking word. But the 91-year-old old Mags, the outbreak monkey, she stepped forth, and she's done it. She's done it. 6:45 this morning. That shocked me. 6:45 a.m. Then I remember everybody over the age of 60, is awake from 4:30 in the morning. So that's half her day gone. She's been sitting about waiting for the nurses. Margaret Keenan from Coventry, another shock. I don't think anyone in the world would have thought that the outbreak patient zero would have been from Coventry, let alone a 90-year-old. But as I said, my opinion has changed. I was thinking, what is the point in vaccinating 90-year-olds? They've had enough time. Let them go peacefully and quietly as they shuffle off God's green earth. But then, if you have an abundance of old people hanging about this country, why not do tests on them? Why not? Why not round up all the pensioners and do fucking chemical tests on them? Eh? Why test it on the young, the fit and the healthy? Get the pensioners in a van, get them in a lab, and get them smoking 40 Marlboro a day, putting some blusher on them, and let's do tests on them. Let's test pensioners. That's one of the things that I'm going to stand for in the forthcoming elections, right? Everybody gets a fish tank, because fish make you happy, and we round up all the pensioners, 80 plus, you've had a good innings, you're in a van, you're in a lab, you're smoking 40 Marlboro, and we're doing tests on you, right? So I've changed my thinking. I think we should vaccinate the pensioners, because if something is going to go wrong, if we do turn into zombies, or your body rejects the implant chips, then let's get rid of a few pensioners first before we test it on the young, who could be resourceful once the revolution comes. You know. Margaret Keenan, Coventry, was administered the vaccine today, December 8th, at 6:45 a.m. Margaret said she feels privileged. She feels privileged! Privileged to have been the first person to receive it, and has described the experience as an early birthday present. She turns 91 next week. Well, happy fucking birthday, Margaret. Am I the only one that's a little bit shocked that England's gone first? That Britain's gone first? I'm shocked by that. No? Just me then? Nobody thought the Americans, dare I say, the Chinese, would have been dishing out vaccines first? They didn't even got a vaccine. They're just back to work. They're going to fuck. Back to normal. You know? Couple of 100 million dead. And what? Who cares? Tell the WHO it was how many died, China? 5,000. There's reports of 100 million people disappearing. Shut the fuck up. 5,000. And are you going to have a vaccine? No vaccine. No. Just back to work, mate. Hard work. You know? Bowl of rice. Bit of pho. Sorted. Maybe America would have been first in for the vaccine. Dare I say Germany first in for the vaccine. You know? We know how efficient they are. They're very good at organising mass group of people. Come on now. But it's good old Blighty. Matt Hancock on the news pretending to cry like a fucking robot. What a dick, man. But yes, remember that name, Margaret Keenan. Margaret said, I feel so privileged to be the first person vaccinated against COVID-19. It's the best early birthday present I could wish for, because it means I can finally look forward to spending time with my family and friends in the new year after being on my own for most of the year. Margaret, dial it back in. Don't pull on the heartstrings now, alright? You're the first one, you've got the vaccine. But what does it mean also? Does it mean that when you get the vaccine, you can just fucking stoat about? You know? Mask off, tap off. What does it mean? Because surely you still can't go anywhere. Because surely everything's still in the strict. So when is that point going to come? The tipping point where enough people have been vaccinated that we can all fucking crawl out from behind the rock and go, does anybody know where a rave is? When does that happen? That's what I want to know. And then are we going to get to a point where, it's like segregation? You know, people who haven't been vaccinated need to sit in the back of the bus. Is that what it's going to be? Huh? Are we going to have separate bathrooms? Vaccinated and non-vaccinated? Don't talk to him, son. He's a dirty non-vaxxer. Come on. I just think they're trying to put chips in you. Don't talk to that man. Has nobody ever watched a fucking Hollywood movie, for God's sake? We're going backwards here. There's already been, as we've discussed, and there's a very goddamn show. There's already been airlines, Qantas. Never fly Qantas. Qantas Airlines saying they will potentially stop anyone who has not been vaccinated from travelling. I imagine they'll not be the only company that does that. You know, that there could be restrictions placed upon people from the government itself. The government itself. How long do we need to wait? How long do we need to wait? Us, normal cunts. They're going to do pensioners. They're going to do frontline staff, key workers. This is when you'll see what an actual key worker is, right? Because it'll be people who are public transport. Obviously, they need to keep the world moving. Police. You'll have doctors, nurses, right? Nobody's going to argue with that. But then we're going to have to go out and go, wait a minute here. Remember when we were all clamping on our balconies for key workers, and apparently the bold Sandra doing fucking Morrison's, sitting moaning and bitching without a mask on. Apparently she's a key worker. Huh? people who are cleaners. Are they getting the vaccine as well? Suddenly now, the term key worker becomes a little bit more detailed. You could have a load of dinner ladies fucking storming hospital going, I'm a key worker, you cunt. 4 months ago, they were all at the balcony clapping for me and they fucking stick it in my arse. The injection, obviously. Margaret is going on to say, I can't thank Nurse May Parsons and the NHS staff enough. This feels as if Margaret's got a bit of a fucking PR team behind her. This feels like quite a lengthy thank you speech for a 91-year-old woman. You could go round to my grandpa's house, clean the place from head to toe, make him breakfast, lunch and dinner, as many cups of tea as you want, and you wouldn't get a thank you at the fucker. And we've got a 6-page statement here for Margaret. Something's not right here. I can't thank the NHS stuff. And I've looked after me tremendously, and my advice to anyone offered the vaccine is to take it. If I can have it at 90, then you can have it too. It doesn't make any sense, Margaret. It doesn't matter what age you are. You know, if I can have it at 90, then you can do it too. You don't need to do anything. You just sit there and you stick your arm out and they jag you, right? It's not a physical thing. It's not an age thing. It's not a sex thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. You get jagged in the arm. So let's just calm down, Margaret. How Margaret was selected, I don't know. Now, if there has been some kind of Olympics ran at the care home and Margaret has come top, then I'll retract that statement. If there was an organised, blue-collar boxing event in which Margaret had to take on all the other fucking docile pensioners in the house, she knocked every one of them out like a kind of Royal Rumble style, and then she got the opportunity to get the vaccine first, I'll retract that statement. But I don't think she did. I imagine somebody from the fucking government or BBC News went through a Rolodex, picked a fucking care home at random in a shitty part of the country, like Coventry, went in and went, the old white one, she'll do. Because if it'd been an old black woman, the fucking right-wing racists would have kicked off, wouldn't they? So let's just take a step back here and accept what this is, a PR stunt. It was announced December 7th that every UK patient to have received the vaccine will be given a COVID vaccine card. Come on! Right, you will get a card. Brilliant. And a pin badge? No, a beanie hat. Oh, we're getting a fucking card. Something Margaret will have received this morning. So you get a wee jag, and then you get a card to say you're free. You're vaccinated. You're negative. You know? Wouldn't that be lovely? And then you can get in shops. No mask on. They'll be like, sir, can you please, you need to mask. And you just whip it out like fucking Columbo. I've been vaccinated, you silly cow. Get the fuck out my road. I never knew you get a vaccine card. Well, that makes all the difference. I'm looking forward to it now. There's going to be people. There'll be fucking dicks who will have their vaccine card laminated around their neck. Won't they? Or better still, they'll buy one of the wallets. It's like the police wallets. It's got the plastic visor in it. Step back, guys. I've been vaccinated. It's alright, I'll take it for you. Alright, hen, what seems to be the problem? COVID-19, I hear you, hen, I hear you. Actually been vaccinated myself. Here's my vaccine card. Now get the fuck out of my way. Ah, God almighty. Is it wrong that I am now excited that you get a vaccine? I hope it's a good card. I hope the Tories have spent a bit of money and it's like a wee kind of credit card. I hope it's not a shitey bit of paper, Can I have a badge as well? I want to have a badge. I want a pin badge, COVID. With a big cross through it. Or a tick. Fucking vaccinated, man. Oh, no way, that guy's been vaccinated. Aye, that's me, boys. Key worker. What is it you do, mate? You a surgeon? No, I clean the aisles at Tesco, mate. Key worker. I'm a key worker. I never knew you got a card. Brilliant. Well, some people have described the card as some kind of immunity passport. I mean, that's what it is. And so what? Have you got a card? No. Well, fuck off then. Where's your immunity passport? That sounds even better. I like that. Couple of bits. Shoes me, lads, where you been tonight? Just in the house, mate. We just came out for this. Have you got your immunity passports? Oh, mate, I've not got. Honestly, I've had the jag. I'll show you my arse.
Don't leave the house without your immunity passport.
Wales Health Minister, who gives a fuck about this cunt, Vaughan Gethin, debunked this and stated the cards were largely created as a way of reminding people when their next jab is needed, because you've got to get two. Another thing I didn't know, you get a jag and then 2 weeks later I think you're going to get another jag, so you're fully fucking jagged up, you know. Maybe they're only showing us the first jag because it's an easy one. Maybe the second jag is like a big needle right up your farter. Margaret's like, oh, I'm talking rubbish, don't get it done, it's terrible, it's terrible. Oh, Margaret, thank you for being a little lab monkey. I'm sure she will be she'll be under watchful eye of the government for the next 48 hours to see if she starts foaming at the mouth or starts attacking nurses in the hospital. It would just be our luck now if they did come up with some kind of vaccine and it did actually turn people into zombies. Again, maybe this is the logic. Maybe they're thinking, if there is a slight chance, because we know everything that's happened this year, right? Everything that's fucking gone on with COVID. If there is even a 5% chance that the vaccine could turn you into a flesh-eating zombie, why would you want to vaccinate young, healthy people when you can vaccinate a bunch of pensioners? I would feel confident that I could take on 10 zombie pensioners to one athletic young person zombie. I would say so. You know? Tooled up, baseball bat and a shotgun. I mean, easily 10 zombie pensioners. Easily. You know? Aye. I would say so. So keep an eye on her. And let's look out for Margaret. Hopefully she's doing alright. You know, hopefully she's not got the taste for human flesh. And that this does work. And then we can get back. I mean, I'm saying back to normal. All I do is get back gigging. Everything else, I don't give a fuck about. Couldn't care less. You know, couldn't give a fuck about anything else. I'm becoming more selfish now. I just want to get back gigging. Doing what I love. Taking the piss out the front row and making people laugh. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Give me my immunity passport. I want immunity.
Fair fucks to you, Mags. Good luck, Ken. I hope 91's a better year. Because 90's been a shiter. There you go. Margaret Keenan. Pioneer. Legend. Zombie? Question mark. I imagine by now most of you will be aware that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, also known as Will and Kate, you know. It used to be William and Kate, now it's Will. Try to be all trendy. I seem to be on some kind of train tour of the UK, meeting people and thanking them. Reasons escape me. I don't know. But they were in Edinburgh today, and it seems as if they've upset a few Edinburgh locals, which is an easy thing to do. The headline of the article is Edinburgh locals are reporting William and Kate to Police Scotland for breaking lockdown rules. Again, feels a little bit like an absolute shitey news story for no apparent reason. I don't know why. I don't know why they're on this tour. I really don't. I don't know if it's because of the Crown. Imagine it was the Crown. Imagine fucking Lizzie has been sitting in Windsor
going, I'm sick of this shite, man. Fucking Diana. She was a fucking pain in the arse, that lassie. Right, you two dicks, get on a train, get round the country, and let's change the discussion and make sure they know that the royals are alright. Alright, now fuck off the Perrys.
I don't know why they're doing it. No idea. This news headline says, I haven't been able to go and see my grandchildren in Edinburgh since August, and yet royals can just waltz into the capital, which is very true, which is very, very true. I have got friends who are taking it, I mean, obviously everyone's taking it seriously. I don't think there's anyone who's being, fast and loose with COVID, but they are very much, we've not seen family, don't fucking come near us, don't fucking look at us, don't even think about us, because your thoughts might pass negative vibes through the universe and we'll get COVID, right? They're very much, fuck off, nobody comes to, if anything gets delivered, stick it in the next field and set fire to it. They will then go over, put the fire out, and reassemble the remains of the burning embers to build up whatever it was they ordered, right? They're very fucking, no way, man, till we all get vaccinated, fuck off. And that's fine. And some people are like that. There are people who have not seen their family. There are people who have not seen, there's people who have been given birth and they haven't seen their grandparents. Grandparents haven't seen their grandchildren because they're in some kind of tiered system and they can't get it. But yet we've got the fucking royals, all baldy and fucking Skeletor going around the country in a train. Who gives a fuck? So, I mean, listen, the whole grass to my pole, Scotland, fuck off, right? We can't better do our time. But I can see some argument for what the fuck are they doing? What is the point in this? And surely somebody within Clarence House, I believe, must have sat down and went, maybe this isn't a good idea. Maybe we should all just cancel any royal engagements whatsoever until this is over. Would that not have been a good idea? The article says the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arrived in Edinburgh Waverley this morning as part of a 3-day tour of the UK. Pointless. Wills and Skeletor the visit will see them thank NHS workers for their efforts during COVID, but not everyone appreciates the sentiment. Edinburgh locals have been tagging Police Scotland in tweets this morning, claiming that the royal couple are breaking lockdown rules in Scotland by travelling around the country. Current government guidelines say that you must not, by law, travel into or out of level 3 and level 4 local authority areas except for essential reasons. Which is true, man. One of the tweets here says, I absolutely do not understand why the Royal Train Tour is being allowed in Edinburgh. Edinburgh is in Tier 3, no non-essential travel into or out of the region. Would Scottish Government or Police Scotland care to comment? Obviously they have not. But it is very true. Is this us going back to the idea of normality and slowly trying to restore the balance where there is one rule for us, i.e. the poor working class scumbags, and one rule for them, the fucking ruling upper classes? I imagine there are people who are travelling across the central belt in Scotland. I imagine there are people who are travelling from Scotland into England. I imagine there are people who are going from a Tier 3 to a Tier 2, a 3 to a 4, to a 2, to a 2, to a 4, to a 3, to a 4, to a 2, to a 1, to a 2. I imagine that's happening. People may be doing it consciously, people may be doing it unconsciously. But if you are part of the royal family, there will be a vast team in place organising these trips. They've not just jumped on a train at Euston Station and went, let's fucking pop up to Edinburgh for the day. And nobody has thought to say that the royal train's going to be passing through different tiered systems and there may be people who are angered by it, like I said, who haven't seen their family. Or is it a case of them going, I couldn't give a fuck, man. Have you seen The Crown? It's fucking bullshit. Everybody wants to pump Thatcher and they all think my maws are dirty. Get me on a train, man. I'm fucking having none of it. Tagging Police Scotland, one person on Twitter says, I haven't been able to go and see my grandchildren in Edinburgh since August, and yet they can just waltz into the capital. Another tweeted the police saying, why didn't you arrest or fine the royal family? Royal family visitors for breaking the law on non-essential travel. How good would that have been? And again, if Scotland is really self-governed at this point and Sturgeon is in control and going, we're not doing what Westminster's doing and we're doing a far better job, wouldn't it have been lovely if when the royal train turned up at Edinburgh and Wills and Kate got off to do the fucking, we're the royal family, Wouldn't it have been great if the fucking police had just gone in, SWAT team and dogs, and arrested him? That would have been fucking beautiful. You know, or even just detain him and then hit him with £1,000 fine. That would have been fucking great.
But instead, nothing gets done.
Another person just saying, I absolutely do not understand why the Royal Train Tour has been allowed in Edinburgh. I mean, it is very true. Question, what makes the Royal trip to the capital essential? Dr. Katrina Farrell said, it's a slap in the face at a time when people can't get married. Again, true. Have restricted numbers at funerals and hospital inpatients aren't allowed visitors. What exactly makes this essential travel? I think the royal household has made a fuck up on this one. I really do. I'm just reading this article here. I'm actually just seeing now that this article is by Dana McAlpine, who is a friend of mine, and she's a wonderful writer and journalist. So there you go, for Edinburgh Live. But it's true. It is true what people are saying. I mean, the fact that I know two people just now who, one of which has postponed their wedding for 2 years because they're concerned about a backlog of dates next year and something else might happen. I know someone who's completely cancelled their wedding and has actually spent the money for their wedding on renovating their house, and then they'll get married in a couple of years' time if they so choose to do it. I know people who have been devastated that weddings have been cancelled. People who have been hospitalised with non-COVID related illnesses are sitting in a hospital ward all by themselves because they can't have anybody visit them. You know, even at Christmas time, there's people concerned about who they can have in their Christmas bubble. What number of families, number of adults within that? Are there going to be people within the family who are being left out? You know?
But then you've got the royals swanning about in a train.
Just to say thank you. Do you know how you thank NHS and frontline staff? Send a video and give them all a grand cash. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I mean, what they tell me, that when they turn up to these hospitals, Will and Kate, they're going to go around every single person. And I mean, it feels a bit like pageantry. Do you know? I think that everybody now is clued up a little bit in the royal family. I'm not saying get rid of them, disband them. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying now maybe isn't the right time to be doing things like this. That's what I'm saying. You know? Maybe they missed the boat with this one. But who knows? You know? Hey. Get in touch with the show, man. Answers a postcard. Do you like the Royals? Yes or no? I never even knew they were coming to Edinburgh. See if you'd said to me today, look, do you want to go up to Waverley Station to see Kate and Wills? No, I fucking don't. No, I do not. But they've pissed a few people off. They have pissed a few people off, so I don't know. Maybe they'll fuck off him. Who knows? I had saw, in fact, I was trying to find an article for it there, and I can just find one for 2016, which is completely contradictory to the news article I heard on the radio literally the other day. And again, I don't know if it's because 2020 has changed us in a lot of ways. For me, it certainly made me a bit more, I don't know what the correct word is, a bit more sceptical of global news, a bit more understanding of how different political systems for across the world impact on each other and how they oppose each other, and also what different messages that are put across, at what point they're put across, how forcefully they're put across, and how that itself generates money and wealth and keeps the world turning, right? No one can disagree that climate change is not real. No one can argue or disagree that it hasn't had adverse impacts on the earth in the last 5 years. No one would disagree with that. But I think we've just gone through almost a calendar year where the vast majority of the planet has found itself in some kind of quarantine condition, whether that be at home, working from home, forced by government to be at home, or restricting our movement. And I certainly have noticed that the discussion around climate change has almost, not completely dropped off, because it never has, but it has become quite silent, and it certainly has become on the back burner, if you like, of the national debate or a people's thinking. But suddenly, small news articles and small news stories are slowly starting to creep back in again, and is this coinciding with us getting a vaccine, slowly moving back towards old life, normal life, and suddenly it's generating that discussion again about the world's on fire this time. No, the thing that I heard, and I actually just, when I heard it on the radio, I shouted, what a lot of shite, because it is a lot of shite. Again, I have no scientific basis to say that it's shite or data or training. I just heard a statement from a scientist, and I went, what a lot of shite, as is my want. As is my want as a free person in a free society. If someone who studies, the earth, the meteorological, the fucking the sky and the weather, can come out with a statement, then I, as a university dropout, I'm able to say shite to the gentleman's face. The story I heard on the news was that in 20 years' time, 20 years, in the year 2040, get this, snow will no longer exist in Scotland. What? That was the article. In 20 years' time, due to global warming, snow will no longer exist in Scotland. We will have no more snow. Now, somebody needs to get all the climate scientists together, and they need to have a unified voice. They need to get everybody in a room, and they have to make a decision on who is going to be the spokesperson for climate change. And if they are not charismatic, if they don't understand the message, they don't speak. If ever a climate scientist is asked a question, they refer them to this spokesperson, and all they have to say is, I'm a very clever man or woman, but when it comes to answering questions, I'm a fuck nugget, and I'll refer you to this person. Because if they come on a national news broadcaster and they say things like, in 20 years we won't get any snow in Scotland, people will respond with, fucking great, keep up the good work, keep burning shit, everybody buy a diesel motor, let's try and get it down to 15 years. And the reason for it being is that they say with global temperatures in Scotland in 20 years, it will be impossible for the temperature to fall below 0 degrees. Again, fucking brilliant. Who's going to argue with that? That's what we've been waiting for with global warming. Because we were told we were going to be fucking barbecuing in November. But all that's happened is places in England are getting flooded. Now that brings us a bit of joy. So now we're told in another 20 years the temperature won't fall below 0 degrees. Brilliant! Say that to the fucking homeless community in Scotland. Hang in there, lads. 20 more years, you'll be sleeping in your shorts. When I heard it, I couldn't believe it. And like I said, I cannot find an article for it. This is an article from 2016. It talks about, the headline is Snowmageddon. And this is at the time when we were starting to really see adverse weather. And the reason why I'm looking at this article, which is on the BBC website, which should be taken with a pinch of salt, is the closing line of the article says extreme snowfall is actually an expected consequence of warmer weather. This is an article by a gentleman called Colin Barris. I don't know what Colin's background is. I don't know if he's a scientist, but it's from the BBC website. And the last line in the opening paragraph of the article says, extreme snowfall is actually an expected consequence of a warmer world and warmer temperatures. So if that is the case, then how is global warming going to eradicate snowfall? Surely by their own argument and their own logic, if the planet, if the temperature is increasing, then extreme snowfall and extreme weather goes hand in hand with that increase in temperature. So surely the argument would be that in 20 years' time we're going to have even more snow or extreme snow in Scotland. Now, is this just because we're getting into Christmas and everybody wants to put a fiver bet on a white Christmas, and what goes with Christmas is snow and winter and cold and Lapland? So do they do things to try and scare you? Do they tell us lies to try and make people go, we should recycle more and set fire to the diesel? By saying things like, oh, do you enjoy Christmas and do you like going sledging in the snow? We'll see in 20 years' time there's not going to be any snow, so make sure you recycle. I'm on to you, climate scientists. I'm on to you, man. And I tell you what, you'll not fool me, because see in 20 years' time, I'll be fucking enjoying the snow. Nay, no snow in Scotland in 20 years. What a lot of shite, man. What a lot of shite. Right, two wee news stories left, and then we're done for another episode. As always, thank you to everybody. Thank you to everyone who listens to the shows. Thanks everyone who got in touch after the last 250, 758 quick fire double episode in a week. So thanks to everybody who got in touch with them. As always, if you enjoy the podcast, please do share it. Share it in your social medias. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. The videos go up there as well if you want to watch the video episodes. And yeah, consider becoming part of the Patreon. It's the best way to get access to all the extra episodes. Patreons, Patreonies, they get an extra episode every Sunday now. The episodes will move to a Sunday. And you can access all my comedy albums and the live streams and a whole load of other goodies that are on there. So if you enjoy the show and you want to support it, you want to support me as well, become a Patreon. 86 pence a week. That's what it costs to be in the Patreon. 86 pence a week. That is fucking nothing. There is nothing you can get for 86 pence that brings you as much joy as this podcast does. Twice a week for 86 pence, man. Unbelievable. So get on that. Patreon.com/Big Scott Gibson. Sign up now. Right, this one. When I saw it, I've as usual, I've not read the article yet. So, you know, I'm in two minds. But the first thing I thought was Peado. I'm going to be honest. And then the second thing I thought was, in the name of God, what I find. And the headline is, Dad ordered to turn off Christmas lights or face a £10,000 fine. Now, almost all of us, regardless of where you live in the world, I would say, certainly in the UK, come Christmas time, there is always one house in your area. Now, if you drive further afield, you'll find more. But there's always one house in your area that goes OTT on the Christmas lights. And as you get older, your first thought is, they're a pedo. Now, I know that society's done that to us. I know it's probably just nice people who enjoy Christmas and they want to bring a little bit of happiness and joy to the kiddies while they're touching their bums. But I just always think, pedo. That's always what I think. So when I saw this guy's house, I thought, pedo gets fined 10 grand. I thought that's what the article was going to be. It's from the Metro by Shan Elvin, a name familiar to us. A homeowner has been threatened with a £10,000 fine unless he switches off his charity Christmas lights. It makes no sense whatsoever. Charity. Trevor Payne, 46, paedophile, has been displaying festive lights outside his house for several years to raise money for mental health charities. Oh, Jesus. See, it's one of these situations where he's doing something that's a little bit odd and a little bit annoying, but because they do it for a good cause, you can't really say it, you know what I mean? Trevor, you're going to turn the lights off, mate. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm doing this for mental health charities. Oh, fuck. 46 as well. That's a bit young. Is that no? That's young, isn't it? Normally the people who do these things in the house, they're old. I'm still saying pedo, mate. Listen, 46 and he's doing Christmas lights. Pedo. Police were called to his property in Chelsea Hay, Staffordshire on Saturday evening after reports of a large gathering in the street. That's not his fault. It's not his fault unless it's a large gathering of a mob there to burn a pedo. Then maybe that's what's happened. Maybe that's what's happened. See, listen, I'm not a pedo, right? But see, if I was, I wouldn't be decorating my house in Christmas lights. Trevor Payne, 46, paedophile. Calls the police after an angry mob stood outside the house. The dad... Why is it saying he's a dad in the news article? Is that to lead you off the scent he's a pedo? Because you're going, can he possibly be pump when just get his own wins? The dad was ordered to turn off his sensational, their words, not mine, seasonal. Seasonal display, not sensational. That's my mild dyslexia. I have had brain surgery. He was ordered to turn off his seasonal display or face a huge fine for breaking coronavirus rules. He's not broke any rules. Has he? What's he done? He's put up lights and they've all stood outside his house. He's not done fuck all. Leaving families and children in the area heartbroken. I bet I did. Anne-Marie Beckett, 32, said her daughter Serena, 3 and 5-year-old son Bobby had been loving the lights before officers turned up on the road. I think it's disgusting, to be honest, said the single mum. Most people were wearing masks and social distancing in a one-way system through the garden. Oh, so he's inviting people into the house. Peado! So he's inviting people through his garden to see the Winter Wonderland. Right, okay. Most people were masked through a one-way system. It felt really safe. That's what they always say before Wayne started disappearing. And it was beautifully decorated. That man's doing a lot for the community. It was the first time we've been to this one. It's one of the best that we've ever seen, said the single mother. Everyone was just trying to give their kids a little taste of Christmas, and then the fucking scum turned up. The lights were lovely, the atmosphere was nice too, but when the police shut the lights down, the atmosphere turned. It turned! We were trying to get some Christmas spirit for the kids, and now they have spoiled the small amount of festive joy we could enjoy this year. Visitors said the attraction was made COVID safe by implementing a one-way system with hand sanitising stations. The poor Peter's done everything, man. He's got a one-way system, he's got hand sanitisers. Did anybody test the hand sanitisers? Maybe it's just a bottle of spunk, I don't know. But he's done everything he can, and still the fucking scum turn up and shut him down. They also claimed Trevor received full clearance beforehand from council bosses to ensure that he was not flouting any government rules. The man has done everything he can. He's done everything he can. Residents have now said police are spoiling the small amount of festive joy they could experience in the area. These people are selflessly raising money for young minds. There you go. There was about 50 people apparently when the police turned up. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. Danny's bit, man. Know what I mean? Difficult year. They've said to him, Trevor, are you going to put the lights up this year, Trev? I don't know, mate. COVID-19, all that. Got to ask the council. Got to get a one-way system. Got to get hand sanitizer. Think of the children, Kev. And Kev thought of the kids. He thought of their wee faces. You know how sad they would be if they never got the lights. And he's turned those lights on. And he has made sure that joy has came to the little faces. Hand sanitizer. Imagine putting hand sanitizers out as well. But still the fucking scum turn up and shut you down. Who knows? But there's always been something about that ever since I was young. There's always been one house that goes over the top at Christmas. And there's just a few question marks over the people who live in there. That's all I'm saying, a few question marks. But Trevor seems alright, man. He seems alright. Either what will happen is it'll come in a few years that he is a raging pedo and he was kidnapped Wales and burying the body underneath the Christmas display to make it even more disgusting, or he was siphoning the money for the mental health charity. It's going to end one or two ways. Okay, team, thank you for listening to another episode. If you are listening to this on the Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, however you listen to your podcast, remember the video episode is available on YouTube. Just go to the Facebook page, Scott Gibson Comedy, follow the links on there. And make sure you subscribe to that Facebook page as well. And let's get that fucking growing. Why not? Hey, why not, man? Let's do it. Enjoy me in visual and audio format. You know, a pleasure for the eyes and the ears. Right, one last news story before we need to go. Terrifying news story. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's back. For years, he terrified millions across Europe. Brought genocide to the Jewish people. Still, when his name is uttered in the wind, it brings fear to millions. I am speaking, of course, about Adolf Hitler. And he is back, and he's back with a force, because a Namibian man named after Adolf Hitler wins local election. Now, if I told you that Hitler was back and he won an election, that is possibly not the face you would think of when I said that. But this gentleman has won a local election in Namibia, and his name is Adolf Hitler. Well, no making that up. That's the fucker's name. Adolf Hitler. Now, I imagine there are people called Hitler out there, right? I imagine that is a surname. If your surname was Hitler, there isn't a hope in hell you're calling your son Adolf. You call him anything else. Franco, Stevie, Shug, John Hitler. No relation. But you don't call him Adolf Hitler. A Namibian politician named after Adolf Hitler, which is terrifying, because it's not as if, like, surely then his parents know who Hitler is and went, that sounds like a great name and a great role model. If we have a boy, we're calling him Adolf Hitler. So what are they? Are they Mr. and Mrs. Hitler from Namibia? What's going on here? A Namibian politician named after Adolf Hitler says he has no plans for world domination. Good to know. That's good to know. Doesn't he mention the Jews, but does he? Doesn't he mention the Jews? Let's clean that up. BBC News article here, trying to be all funny. A local man in Namibia named Adolf Hitler says he doesn't have any plans for world domination. What about the Jews, Mr. Adolf? And then suddenly they snatch the mic back. We're fucking going to finish the job we started. Oh, in the name of God. Adolf Hitler Unona was elected last week as councillor of the Openja constituency. In an interview with German newspaper. Oh my God. I mean, fuck me. Is there German newspapers that just travel the world looking for people called Adolf Hitler in the hope that it might be him? Have you tried Argentina? In an interview with German newspaper Bild, he insisted he had nothing to do with Nazi ideology. Just change your fucking name, mate. Change your fucking name. Adolf, like other Germanic first names, is not uncommon in the country, which was once a German colony. He was elected for the ruling SWAPO party, which led the campaign against colonial and white minority rule. Mr. Unona admitted that his father had named him after the Nazi leader, but said he probably didn't understand what Adolf Hitler stood for. In the name of God. Imagine even admitting that.
My dad did name me after the Adolf Hitler, man, but I didn't really know. Listen, see, back then, we didn't really care, know what I mean? We just thought, he's a bit mad, but he'll never make it to fucking Namibia. We're cool.
Imagine admitting to the national press that yes, your father did. Couldn't you imagine if there was a British politician and his middle name was Adolf Hitler? And that came to light, and in a news interview he said, look, my dad named me after Adolf Hitler. Because, you know, he just maybe didn't understand. No, he understood, mate. He understood. As a child, I saw it as a totally normal name. I bet you did. Mr. Unona, who won his seat with 85% of the vote. It wasn't until I was growing up that I realised the man wanted to subjugate the whole world, he said, adding, I have nothing to do with any of these things. Mr. Honor says his wife calls him Adolf and he goes by the name in public and has no plans to change it. Well, I think you'll be alright. Between 1884 and 1915, Namibia was part of the German territory called German South West Africa. The German Empire killed thousands of people during the 1904 and 1908 revolt by local Nama, Hero and San people. Some historians have called the Forgotten Genocide. Earlier this year, Namibia turned down a €10 million offer by Germany for reparations, saying it would continue to negotiate for a revised offer. After World War I, Namibia came under South African control and gained independence in 1990, but still has many German-named towns and a small German-speaking community.
And now, fucking Adolf Hitler is back in power.
This is how it all starts. Remember? Huh? They all made fun of Hitler back in the 30s. Eh? He's a wee Nazi. He's only got one ball. He's a bampot. Fuck them all. And then look what happened. Maybe this is it's history repeating. You know? Adolf is back. And this time, he's black. He's back and he's black. And he's fucking pissed. This is how it's going to start, man. He's going to rise up. He's going to take over the political sphere in Namibia. He's going to negotiate 100 billion trillion squidlies reparations payment for Germany. They're going to build an army, a fucking nuclear warhead, and then it's Chinatown. Here we go. And then we're all fucked. Then we're sitting going, remember that BBC article that came out years ago? Big Gibble took the piss in the podcast. Well, no laughing now. The fucking Namibian armies in the street kicking our cunts in. I say we get a drone, we fucking swipe in, and we take them all out before this gets out of hand. And if it turns out that he was actually just having a laugh all this time, then sometimes accidents happen. Unbelievable, man. Fucking hell. He's back and he's black. Right, let's get this episode finished, man. 59 in the bag. We drag ourselves slowly over the line of 2020. Once again, thanks to everybody who listens. Enjoy it. Share it, subscribe it. You know, just do all the things. Click the doodah, subscribe to the thingy bob, and fucking Robert's your feathers, brother. Any questions or topics for future episodes, get in touch. If you enjoy the show and you want to support it and you want to get access to all those extra episodes, the only way to do that is to become a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Big Scott Gibson. Sign up for as little as 86 pence a week, which is fuck all. And you can enjoy all the goodies. Right, stay safe, team. Look after yourself. Let's hope we all get vaccinated soon. And once we are, and we've all got our wee immunity passports, I will see you on a battlefield and we're going to have a fucking cracking laugh. Take care. Stay safe. Wash your hands and your arsehole. I'll speak to you all soon. Onwards.